Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about PlayStation 2, Nintendo Switch, retro handhelds, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on PC with Ryujinx, and Ryujinx just got a really big update. So version 1.1.672 just dropped, and if you've got an NVIDIA GPU and you're using the Vulkan renderer, you're gonna love this update. It greatly improves NVIDIA Vulkan performance in a whole bunch of games, like Bayonetta 3, Blue Reflection Second Light, Catherine Full Body, Hyrule Warriors, Monster Hunter Rise, Nier Automata, I think I actually said that one right, Persona 5 Royal, Xenoblade Chronicles, and a whole bunch more. This is a big update for Ryujinx, and Ryujinx is free, it's open source, it's worth checking out, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Moving on, and we're still talking about Switch emulation, but switching over to Android and talking about Skyline, and Skyline's got a brand new update. If you head to skyline-emu.1 and click on download, you'll see a brand new version. We talked about Skyline yesterday, and this development team has been very hard at work, and Skyline version 21.28 has just dropped. If you haven't updated Skyline in a while, you might want to pick this one up. I mean, someone's got Nier Automata up and running at 60 frames per second, and they're saying it's fully playable. On top of that, someone's got Cuphead up and running here between 50 and 60 frames per second on an Orange Pi 5. The Orange Pi 5 has an RK3588S and a Mali GPU, and in my opinion this is very impressive. And the last bit about Skyline here is from a bit of an older build, 2126, which is actually still pretty recent. This is a Mali GPU. They have Bayonetta 2 up and running between 25 to 30 frames per second and looking pretty good. Like Ryujinx and even Yuzu, Skyline is making some massive strides forward, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Next up, I've got a quick update here for you about PS2 emulation on Android with AetherSX2. And previously, and you're probably well aware, AetherSX2 had that update that was extremely controversial. It introduced ads, and some people were complaining about reduced performance. And on Facebook, of all places, there were a number of people saying that AetherSX2 was installing viruses on their phones. I don't believe those rumors at all, but apparently some people were. Now, part of the problem here is that AetherSX2 is partially closed source, which brings me to the update. In addition to injecting ads and rebasing with PCSX2 on the alpha build on the website, it has been discovered that Talrith also made changes to invalidate your BIOS file if you picked it up through PS3 firmware using this method. If you are curious about this one, it appears the folks over on the AetherSX2 Discord have already found a way around this and possibly have made some adjustments. But it does beg the question, what else did Talrith change? And speaking about changes, next up we're talking about the Anbernic RG35XX and GarlicOS. And Black Seraph has been hard at work here and has made some nice updates. At the time of filming, version 1.3.2 is the latest version. We've got a bunch of bug fixes, some updates to Libretto cores, and if you take screenshots, they're now saved to the game's screenshots directory on the microSD card. And yes, GarlicOS is free, it's open source, it's available right on the Patreon page, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Next up, we're still talking about retro handhelds, and this time about the KT-R1. The KT-R1 is getting closer to launch, and this one does have a MediaTek Helio G99, which is a lot better than a lot of the handhelds out there. The developer has posted some gameplay footage on the Retro Handhelds Discord, which I'll drop a link to in the description below, and I don't want to say this is perfect gameplay, but it's pretty impressive given the chipset. And last up here, we're talking about the WiiU and 3DS, and it's no secret that the eShop for the WiiU and 3DS is shutting down as of March 27th. After that date, you can no longer make purchases on those shops, but you can re-download games if you've already purchased them. And the completionist here has a video, which I will drop a link to in the description below, of him purchasing every single game on both eShops. They spent close to something like $23,000. I don't want to say he wasted money by spending $23K on eShop games, but at the same time here, that's a lot of games, and there were a lot of horrible games on the eShop. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.